Okay, I want to just do another live stream here for everybody. It's kind of a bonus one. I usually only do one a week, but I want to try to fit another one in. See if I could do some more tickers for you guys. Like always, none of this is financial advice. Always do what's best for you. Just use this for your education and entertainment purposes only. And we'll just kind of go right into the comments as the futures open up. We'll go from there. So let's see, CGC and POD. So CGC is a cannabis stock that started to have a breakout, and we saw a pullback recently. But let's take a look where we are with it. So we still want to get this C wave in. We didn't know how this would morph into at this point. It looks like to me, you see you got 5 up here, and then you got a big corrective structure. So it looks like to me wave 2 is going to be a flat correction. So I would be looking for a little, you should get a little more downside. Ideal target here, you know, ideally you would get down to $4.11, but that's probably too severe of a decline. You've already erased divergence, but on the shorter time frame, since it's a flat, you'll want to see bullish divergence, but on the longer time frame, you'll want to erase it. So I do think we've got another swing lower, and perhaps we will double bottom around 614, but I just I wouldn't want to sell it at the moment. I would be just kind of holding, and of course it's testing your patience, and a lot of the times the market takes money from people that are impatient, and this would be one of the examples. As you could see, there's still a 5, a 4, and a 5 left before it bottoms in this flat correction in an A, B, C. But I would expect more upside in like C. So something like that. POD, it looks like, you know, we saw this connector wave. Now the connector wave can continue to build for quite a while in X, and that's what we're seeing here. I am looking for some kind of rug pull on Y at some point, because we broke the low here and here. We broke this low. So whatever happens here is just noise, and it could be done at any moment in X for rug pull in Y. And then it would be a better opportunity to go long. Of course, it can continue higher and even break this high, but I still think you'll get a rug pull at some point. All right, let's go to Tesla. Tesla, no change since my live stream yesterday on Tesla. Pretty much should be close to a bottom or has already bottomed, ready for a move higher. I heard there's some kind of robo-taxi unveil, right, coming up. So maybe that's the catalyst. Here, you got your 3 waves. Now, if we do break down, we could have 5 down. If we get 5 down, we'll bounce and fail. If we break down and erase divergence on this push down on the, let's go to the 45-minute. If we can erase divergence, it would actually be a triple correction, and wave 2 will finish at 175. So don't really know the exact count yet, but it should be turning soon. If in either a bounce fails or just new highs, rips to new highs, but I'm looking for either the low is in, one more marginal low, and we'll need to see if divergence is erased or not. GME, I'll go ahead and just mention GME, but I did a special update on GME, guys. My video, you should watch it. It'll go into more detail than what I'm about to do here. So GME, I'm showing a more bearish count, but actually it's really a 50-50 coin flip, whether we'll get a big breakout on the upside or downside. But either way, whatever happens here, we're still going to be trading up in these areas. I almost, I'm certain of that. We will hit $120 in the future. But this will be day trader battles. I think there's too much hopium in this. There's too many people praying for upside. There's a news event on Monday, and a lot of people, when there's that kind of build up to a news event, it usually never lives up to the hype. And so that's why I go with this count where you have a 5-wave move down, a connector, and then you drop and see to hit somewhere around $20, $19, $18. Really just need to break this low with divergence erase. So it can even truncate. We'll have to wait and see. But this, again, this is the bearish interpretation. The bullish interpretation is actually pretty incredible because you put the 2 there and you have a 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, maybe 2, the 27, and then this will moon. So it's very binary situation in GameStop. So it's 50-50. So I think I lean this count only because of some of the there's too much hope in the market right now, and sentiment is too optimistic. So this needs to rip the hearts out of those people before we can get this wave 3 of 3. That's what I think we'll see, but I'm already long at this level, so I really could care less, and I would just buy more here. I would not. My stop loss on GME is going to be all the way back at 17.25. So that's how I play in it. Playing it long against that low. This is just day trader battles, and you're going to lose your position trying to be cute in and out, time the market, or you're going to buy a call too early. That's all this game is. But if you hold the shares like Roaring Kitty has, you don't need to worry about time in the market anymore, right? Now that he has shares, he's in it for the long haul. He's in it for the fundamental case, right? Why would you buy shares? It's not a pump and dump to him anymore. He's going to try to get control of the company, get influence in the direction of the company, and that's where the long term, the real money is going to be made in this. So that's why he would convert the shares, because that's the buy and hold that we'll get, 1, 2, and then eventually breaking this high. So I think that's the only way to do that is through buying stock and holding it. But if you're trying to buy calls, as you could see, it's kind of dangerous, and that's not the strategy that I think he wants going forward. I think now he wants a fundamental change in their business that's going to get people really excited, and even he will be excited, because why invest and take all those shares for no reason? Okay, guys, I got another super chat come in. Let's go do Meta. How deep is this pullback going to go? Yeah, let's take a look at Meta. Meta, I thought was topping out here. Let's see where I've got it on my list. Yeah, there it is. Okay, my final target in Meta is we're almost there at 591,600 for wave 5 peak, unless divergence is erased. So I do believe we have a 1-2. We are in. I do believe we will continue higher. I don't see it dropping again, but let's take a deeper look at it here. So this wave 1 is clearly 5 waves up, right? Very easy to see that wave structure. Very easy to see 3 here. And then now you're in some kind of impulse here. And let's go to the shorter time frame to see if it gives us a clue on what this is. So here you go. There's your wave 3 peak, 5. You're pulling back. So this is already peaking out. And is it a wave 3 or another wave 1? I'm inclined to call this another 1-2 here. And we're pulling back. So now the question is, how deep is this pullback? Well, this pullback should take another swing lower here, because here you have 3. There's your connector, and you broke the low. So the buy area for this dip buy. This could be a good trade setup at 494, 491, 486. I don't see the gap fill on that trade setup unless it surprises us with a much deeper pullback. But I'm looking. This is where I would expect it to find support into the final move higher. But again, if it can erase divergence, it will extend. And then I believe the gap fill comes later when this wave is introduced to the market. That's probably when that gap fills. But I can be wrong. Do what's best for you. And then the next one you have is FDX. I think I know what symbol that is. Let me see. Hold on. Let's go take a look at that. Yeah, FedEx. FedEx is one I had been watching for a while. Let's see here. Let's take a look at where we've got it. So I've had this extreme buy area here, right? If in case that we got that double correction, we never got that, so this is negated. This was something I was keeping an eye on. I wasn't going to chase it here, but we have that 1-2, and that looks like a 1-2, 1-2. Maybe a run-in flat, so maybe not. I won't go that bullish with FedEx, but I would say that it looks like to me it's in this kind of count, something like that. Yeah, and it held this low, didn't break that low, so I would still call this a 1-2, 1-2. Now, it could still push a little bit lower, but that's how I'd look at this chart right now, something like that, with a lot more upside to come. And you can kind of see that with these higher highs. This is very bullish because this, even if this is wrong, this could, what if it's completely wrong and we're in a bigger flat, A, B, C, which it's possible, right? This is the bigger picture flat correction. I should put this out here, and maybe we'll take a closer look to see if we don't get something like this, which would drop us down to 220. Either way, we're getting much higher because we broke these highs. Well, even if this something like this happens, but that won't take place until this RSI pivot breaks here, right here. Let's look at the 4-hour, and you haven't. So right now it does not support this count. It supports the more bullish count of a 1-2, 1-2. So the question is, how can the stock market crash if FedEx is about to break out? It can't, guys. That's why there's more upside coming. There's more upside coming. But again, there could be a little bit of a dip here, but eventually we will be out of this to new all-time highs in FedEx. All right, thanks for the 7. So I only do 2 symbols unless you give me a super chat. So that's the way it goes. I don't know these. I'll try to look these up and see what these are. SSAB, B, and then what was the other one? NIB, B. And if you want me to do the other one, you'll have to give me a super chat. This is just I just don't do more than 2 per person. So here you go. So SSABB. So here you go. It looks like to me off this low, you've got 1, 2, 3, 4. 5, and maybe you already have a 1-2, and with a flat correction playing out. Let's go to, we have to actually go to even a higher time frame. Yeah, that's what I would be looking for here, is a 1-2 with a flat correction. So I would just draw this simply like this, and then you have a flat correction taking place. So usually it finds the wave 4 bottom, which is 41. So that's what I would be looking for, somewhere down there, and then that should do it. And then we're looking for 1 2 1 2. So yeah, more downside coming. Maybe we can get to 45.50 in this area for a great long-term investment opportunity. And then the next one, this one is pulling back, and it looks like it probably is in a buy area right now. Just looking at this chart real quickly, let's take a look. It looks like an ABC correction, and it is in a buy area. So this is the area where you need to start, buying it if you really want to invest in whatever this company does. And it does look like the market it should be close to finishing. Let's take a look at the long-term divergences. That's great. It looks good. The weekly shows bullish, so it shows like we're in a wave 5 of the C leg right now. So the time your entry, it looks like perhaps just a little bit more downside. There's your 3, there's your 4, and we're in some kind of fifth wave. This could be a 1 2 3 4 5 of 5. It's probably a 5 of 5 if it breaks this low. So this should be ready to turn at any moment. At any moment. So this is a long-term investment opportunity. I don't know what these guys do. Some kind of industrial, looks like, for a grand super cycle wave 3 breakout. That should take us above this peak over the next coming years. So that's what this chart tells you, and we'll add this one to our watch list since it looks pretty good. All right. Thanks again. Looks like I got another super chat from Tina. Tina May, thanks for the 10. CRM. Yeah, CRM was in a buy area. It was kind of a crash correction into a buy area. I was looking for like one more swing lower in wave 5 to finish the flat correction, and we maybe have already started that. So that looks like we just need to make one more low to break this low at 212, and then that should do it. But once we break that low, the correction could end at any moment. And again, I can be wrong. So it could actually even bottom early, and then that's just a different structure. Perhaps it's a 1 2 3 4 5, and I'm wrong. But this area between 237 and really 190 is an area to buy for a future wave 3 of 3 breakout. We're probably going to the thousands of dollars a share. So again, do you want to be cute trying to time it, or are you an investor for the long term? If you're an investor, this is really where you need to start buying it. Looks like it's some kind of inverse head and shoulders. It looks like some kind of right shoulder action. There's probably a lot of support here in this area right there. This was resistance, so this is probably a lot of support in this area. So this is where you would have expected it to find the buyers, and it did. And then the next chart we'll go to is INDO. Let's take a look at that. Let's see here. We've been watching this. Let's see. So we've been in this. It's kind of like a wedge, but we did break out of it. So now we could put that wave 2 here. And now we're pumping out, right? So we're pumping out. So we're looking for the next swing higher. This looks like an easy 5 waves up. I mean, just visually, again, you could easily see that here, right? And now you have 3. This is a triangle connector. So this is a triangle connector. Something like this. And that looks like 1 2 3 4. One more low. Looks like you're in wave 5 of C. You notice the theme. Almost everything I've been charting recently just is like one more low, right? We're not like saying, oh yeah, there's a lot of down. Like everything we're charting shows like everything's almost close to bottom. And that's why this market's more bullish than people I think realize. But you'll have to do what's best for you. So that's how I look at this chart here. As long as this low holds at $2, we should see another nice pump that breaks this peak. And then Lululemon has been ugly, but we have called Lululemon right on my channel. Guys, we called that breakdown in the grand super cycle and a flat. We said don't FOMO in it because we could have a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for a 1, 2 here. So it's very dangerous to FOMO in. It could be a 1, 2 here and we drop. Still looking for 189, 160. I know these are unthinkable targets. This is unthinkable, but this is what the chart says, not what I wish it to be. I don't care anything about the company. I don't have any personal sentiment attachment to this company. Yes, I buy their products, but I don't give a crap about their stock. The stock looks like a classic double top that's going to break, and which means we should be down in this area. And I would not FOMO in here, even if wave 2 gives you another little pump higher. So I would just be, you're going to have to be patient and let this play out, as you see what we did here and drop. Like you could get another one of those pumps and drops, and I expect something like that, or it's already turned. So I just think Lululemon is correct in the grand super cycle from the beginning of its existence as a company, and this should go deeper into a correction, but then it would be a long-term investment opportunity again, which you know, I'll definitely be putting some money in here, but here I don't want it. I don't want nothing to do with it. Okay, next, let's go to our another super chats. Bama, good to see you on our on the channel tonight. No charts. Thanks for sharing. Appreciate that gift, man. I thank you. Appreciate it. And Delta Lions, thanks again for the 10. Let me go to your symbols. Devon Energy. You know, Devon Energy should be forming that right shoulder. We're already seeing. We need to talk a little bit about energy, guys. The fundamental case that is being people are starting to latch onto. Our charts have given us this heads up. We saw Schlumberger and OAH starting to get close to a long-term buy area. Schlumberger is only $3 from a long-term investment opportunity. That's that trades in the OIH, the oil services. The oil services should hit 267. The oil services look really bullish, guys. They may be they may lead. They lag this thing, and they may lead, and the XLE may lag. But I will say that the reason is they're like, okay, in the Trump administration, it's going to be all about drilling, opening up capacity, pumping out as much oil as possible. And then they said, well, that's why maybe the oil price is going to start to drop, because you know, it's just going to be a flood of capacity he's going to unleash when he, you know, assuming he wins, which most people and most polls do. So the market may be getting ready to price that win in, and these may be the stocks you want. And so why is that relevant to Devon Energy? Because Devon Energy is kind of tied to that based on the nature of their business. And we look at where they are. They've already bottomed. They're already bottomed here, and we've come off one, and now we're in wave 2, which really could end at any moment for another move higher in wave 3, a real good breakout. If this low were to break, though, if 40 were to break, then you actually have a WX, and you'll actually get a major drawdown to this lower area here. So that would definitely change the bullish thesis around some of these producers and service companies. But for right now, we should see this hold. I want to see this hold. I think it's going to, but I don't know precisely where the turn will be. Let's look at if we could find this connector wave here. It looks like the connector is right around here. So let's take a look at that. So if that's the connector, we need a race divergence. So we're going to have some kind of like Adobe-like correction. This is going to be like a shallow correction. very similar what Adobe did, right? It had a very shallow Y leg, and it's going to do something, maybe a little bit more downside, but I don't think you're going to get the major drop here. I think you're going to get this a little lower. Let's take a look. And it's already kind of in a buy area. So we'll have to wait and see if this can make the turn with a truncated Y leg. But I would like to see the forward divergence erased. If we don't do that, then we may be in a situation where we still bounce here. We still bounce here, but we get A and we get a B and a C, and it just takes longer. So just be careful if we can't get a little more downside. Because if we don't erase divergence, then you have to go that this is an impulse, and you have to put A there with some kind of B wave, with some kind of C later. Okay. Let's see. What's your next one? You have PBYI. I'm not familiar with that. Let's see if we've done that before or not. I don't see it. Puma, I think we've charted this before. I just may not have the chart anymore. It's been a long time since we were in it. So we charted it way back here for the wave 3, and we did get it. So we did get it. It's funny. We did get that wave 3 like we wanted to. It ended up being another 1-2, and then we broke out. But I still think there's more upside coming here. Let's take a look. Yeah, it's really built. It's like slowly coming out of this correction. It's going to be some kind of lead-in diagonal out of this correction. So this is going to be, I think, a frustrating chart for traders, because I think it will do that and then come all the way back down, and then it will finally moon. I think that's what I would expect with this, but it's too early to try that. It could still become another 1-2. Actually, it probably could be. It could still be another 1-2. So I think that's a scenario, but right now the RSI shows us this is the count, with it turning at any moment. Let's see, maybe actually a little more downside. So 252. So we need to hit 252, 252. So it's a small buy area, if it can get there. Okay, that's the chart there. Then NTR, let's take a look at NTR. I think we've done this one too before on our channel. It is actually again, these charts are really old. I mean, we've had this buy area, and there it is. It looks like it's it came out in 3. So we did get this right. So this is a buy area for long-term investors. It looks like this cycle is over. We actually erased divergence, you see, so it's not an impulse. It's some kind of triple correction off the low. Yeah, I would just, for this chart, I would call this probably, some kind of, 1, 2, and out. I believe we'll hold this low at 48.15. If we do break that low, this would turn this into an impulse and it'll become a 5th wave, and we'll still bounce, but it won't be as bullish long term. But I do believe this is the count that I would want to go with. You'll have to do what's best for you, but it'll be something like this. And Nutrien, I mean, I don't know what these guys do, but it looks like whatever they do is going to be, really in demand in the future soon. All right, so what do these guys do? Let's see. Agricultural, industrial, feed, phosphate. Yeah, those stocks are starting. A lot of those stocks are in buy areas in that sector and are turning. So yeah, I'm not surprised to see that. So this is being accumulated. This is over. This downtrend's over. It's over. If we come down, like I said, it would to me it would just be either a small fifth, and it still rises, or it's a part of a connector in an A, B, C, and we rip higher. But I look at this and I just see it's the downtrend's over. All right, MOS. Let's take a look if we've got that on here. I don't hear. Mosaic, yeah, that's one I'm watching. Okay, this is one I want a piece of, and we're almost there. In fact, this could be a Monday morning buy for me as a long-term investment. And I've had this chart for months, patiently waiting for the moment, and we finally got here. So, you know, that's the chart here, guys. And I would just say that there's no guarantee. Do what's best for you. But it looks like to me you have the bigger connector here, WX, and then W, and then a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 down. So it looks good to me. I want to see that final divergence erased here. So that's why I'm like a little bit more downside would be nice. But just a little bit more would be nice. To erase that divergence better. And then that's what I would then I would say that's it. Right? Then I would say that's it. And just to give you guys an idea of where we are. Something like that. And then this is probably, let's see here. Y, so so there's your first three. And then eventually you'll have to get your ABC, so we'll say that's your ABC. So like you want to finish that impulse, that shorter time frame impulse. So let's see, it's still wave 3. So you definitely still more room to go down. So more room to go lower, because that impulse has to finish. It doesn't look like it's finished yet. It looks like to me it's got some more downside. Nope. There's still another one. It looks like that's the first 3, 4 right here. But let me relabel it. Again, I'm going really quick, but it gives you an idea. Something like that. So I'm looking for something like that. So as you can see, it's got to go a little bit lower, but this is the area to buy it in, like $26, $25, $24. But once that divergence is erased, especially even on the daily, you want to see this plummet and take this peak out. So yeah, I think we're getting into capitulation mode. So good. That's why you have to be patient, right? You got to be patient. Let this play out. Okay, thanks for the super chat. Looks like I've got some more super chats here. Let's go to the next one. S1 D Burn. S1 De Burn. Thanks for the 10. Let's go to some of yours. EGO. Arado Gold, some kind of gold miner. Oh, this one's a pretty bullish one. Oh no, there we go. So you got to zoom out, right? It looks bullish, but then you look at it and go, oh shit, it's in. It looks like all the gold miners. Looks like crap. Well, no diverse. So we're just gonna say this is the low, right? You're coming off that low. So you're in a new bull market off this bottom, and now you got to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Or actually, I would even it's actually it's like that, and then and this is a flat of some kind, and then this looks like a 1, 2, and then you have another 1, 2. And this would be another 1, 2 because you didn't really take out any of the divergence. So gold miners, guys, is going to be a great place to be. That's why I think gold miners is really bullish. Yeah. So see, you don't have any wave threes because you're still divergent in RSI. So this shows to me that you haven't seen wave three yet, the real 3 of 3, which I believe should be coming. So that's that one. PASS is probably in a similar situation. I think that's a silver miner. And that one's been in a massive correction too. Looks like a 1, 2. 1, 2, 3. Some kind of, let's look at where the RSI. So the RSI, we're going to actually have to go to a higher time frame. Yeah, there you go. Quarterly looks good. For a low there. So you've got some kind of 1, 2 here. And then it only looks like 3 up here. So given that, this looks like 5 down. So I'm gonna so you have 3, 3, and 5. So a lot of people would say it's a flat, but if it's a flat, you would have erased the RSI divergence on the quarterly, and you didn't do that, you see. So the only other count you're left with is a 1, 2, 1, 2 on that peak. Let's go back to the weekly. So the RSI low here and here is higher, a higher low. So perhaps the count, yeah, that's how I do the count. So this count is tricky. It's some kind of like, I would say something like this, like a 1, 2 there. And this is some kind of, let's see, that's an impulse. So nope, so we'll put that 2 here. Put the 1 there, a 2. And then this is a flat correction. This whole thing's a flat. And then I would call that another 1, 2. And then this is some kind of flat correction. You know, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then you come out of it. That looks like a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it looks like that cycle is done. And we're in 2. So the question is where does 2 go from here? You know, This it's not clear. It looks like to me. It looks like to me this is some kind of connector here. So I put the connector there. And that put the buy just a little bit lower in 1908, 1847. So you'll have to do what's best for you on this. So it'd have to be something like this. Really an ABC. And then like that for a WXY. And that looks like it wants to go lower. Now the other thing is this could still be a bigger connector, so it could still chop sideways. So the shorter time frames on PASS are very difficult. I would look at the Silver Miner Juniors, Silver Miners, SIL, to see if that's a clearer entry than what this is. But it does look like I think it's got more downside. Probably to find support somewhere around here. But do what's best for you. But I think it's got a lot more upside in the future. Okay, next is VIRT. Financial company here. All right. So we broke this high. You're down in 3. This looks like 5 up. And with a divergent low, so maybe it's not 5 up, it's probably 3 up. Yeah, see, no divergence, so it's probably a run-in flat here. It's a run-in flat of some kind, something like this. Something like that. That looks like, so you see you had this full cycle here, correct? And then you made a new high. So that's really good. So definitely more upside, I would say, is coming in this stock. And it looks like to me, let's take another look at the labeling on this. To go to a higher time frame. Yeah, there's the bottom. There's your wave 3. So probably actually here I'll put the top. So you do have to be careful. It could still be a flat type correction where you get an A, B, and C, and 2 fills this gap and comes lower. I actually think that's probably going to happen looking at the chart and everything. That would get us to $20, $19 somewhere down here before wave 3 comes into play. Something like that. All right, you have to do what's best for you on that. And then Baidu, yeah, Baidu broke down, and that's, you know, China's in a corrective structure again, so we've got a problem with Baidu if you're trading it, because what happened here is we had the buy area here. We did get a nice bounce, a tradable bounce, and then stop out with a small profit. You know, not the home run we're looking for. So now we need to look at what is this chart. As you can see, this whole cycle was clearly corrected with this bounce. So what that means is we're definitely got to go lower. That's not valid anymore. So what do we have is some kind of WXY correction here. And then it has to hold 73. So I do think it's got more downside. We need to come down and take out the divergence here on the daily. And on this weekly. So if it can do that, take out that divergence as well as not go below 73, then it's still okay to come in and buy it. If we take this out, then all bets are off, because then you've got a much more dire situation where you have a W and then an X and some kind of 1 2 1 2, and I believe it will probably go into mass panic capitulation, where we would really you'd have to use classic support and resist areas. So as you could see, this entire top would break, right? If I just showed you this chart, this, and said, hey, we're about to break down, where do you think the target's going to be? Do you think, oh, it's going to be 73? Probably not. It's probably coming all the way back down to these areas here, 37, 34, somewhere in this area, possibly even as low as these lows, which is, I know, unthinkable, but I'm just telling you what the chart says, not what I wish it to be. Do what's best for you. That's why you have to stop out of these things and not try to get cute with it. But this is what the chart tells me. Right now, though, if we can get this push lower, get capitulation, that would be good to go. Perhaps they're worried about Trump presidency with a trade war against China, and people are like getting out of Dodge now. Maybe they're worried about a Taiwan invasion. Maybe they're worried that Baidu won't get the chips it needs, from NVIDIA. Whatever the worry is, I just don't like to be in it right now anymore. So it was a good trade with this pump. We got that pump, and then when we saw it start to break, we got out of that with small profit. But I won't hold it. I'm not interested in it anymore. All right, I got another super chat from Brick Stacker for 5. LPSN. Live person. Okay. So we're waiting for this C leg to finish, right? I think I must have charted this for somebody before. So there's no reason to change what I've done here. We're just waiting for this C leg to finally end. It's really impossible to time unless we look at some RSIs, look at some divergences. So there's your 3. So you're definitely in some kind of wave 5. You got this bullish divergence here. The monthly, though, we do not have that divergence, bullish divergence. So what that also tells me is no, actually I'm okay with that on the monthly. So we really want to see it on the weekly. So the weekly is the most important. So I'm looking for 5 waves down. This is the 5th wave, and we need 5 waves down from here. So you're just going to have to kind of, the only way to do this is to kind of use your Elliott wave skills, and maybe you get lucky and you can time the 5th wave perfectly. So I still have one more leg lower. So if we get this, you'll want to see bullish divergence on probably the 4-hour time frame for this wave 5 as we come down. So you need to respect this. You want bullish divergence. So I'm looking for like one more swing lower. But as you can see, this 4 could actually continue higher. See, look at this wave. It's paired against this wave 2. Let's get rid of this. So this wave 4 is paired with this wave 2. Look how low this wave 2 went from March 20 to July 13. So April, May, June, 4 months. 4 months from April. So April, May, June, July, August. So this 4 could still be in progress for 5 later. So just don't get your hopes up even if 4 pumps. It still may drop, and actually 4 may pump to fill this gap. So I do think you're in wave 4. This seems too shallow. Looks like I bet you have more upside in 4 for 5 to come later. Okay? Texas for 5. Grand super cycle. I love doing these long-term charts on the grand super cycle because it's so interesting to think about. So let me see if I can pull it up where I have it clean. Let me go to see if this works. This may work. I think this will work. Yeah. Okay. So SPY grand super cycle. This is a simple way to put it. 1, 2, 3, 4, and we're in wave 5. We're in 3 of 5. We're in 3 of 5. I don't think it's going to get that high, but I do think we're in 3 of 5. This is why it's so bullish right now. We're about to race divergence again. So a lot of Elliott wave people are like, oh, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Uh-oh, why did we break higher? Guys, all these guys saying, oh, the crash is going to crash. Oh my God, divergence, or too many, bulls, dumb monies in GME. They don't know what they're doing. We're racing divergence here, and the Nasdaq already did. So this is a bullish chart, guys. This is not bearish right now. Now, it will be one day, but not right now. So right now you have, this is like a blow off top setup. In crypto, you see this chart a lot in wave 5s. Okay, if you guys trade crypto, when you're in the 5th wave pump, the FOMO 5th wave of the 5th wave, the end of the 4-year cycle, alt season is about to end, and your coin is 100 times. This is what the wave 5s always look like. So what this is telling me, we're going to get a blow off top, guys, in the stock market. One where all caution will be thrown to the wind. It will make 1929 look like child's play when it's all said and done. That's why you got to be in the market, because there's going to be, I think, some really big gains coming. But that will be it. That will be it. And then you should lose the entire wave 5. This wave 5 should be gone on the pullback whenever this ends. You should get this. The whole thing is gone all the way back down to 215, and I believe all those gaps will fill. We have a lot of gaps here. Everyone's like, oh, trade gaps, they're going to fill. Well, all these gaps haven't filled. There's so many gaps that haven't filled. People always like fill. They only worry about gaps when they fill when it's supports their bias. But these are too bearish, so we don't talk. But these gaps will fill when this wave comes, and this wave is coming, man. At the end of the decade, this wave is coming. This is coming. But not right now. Right now, there's too much money on the sidelines. There's actually more fear in the market at this top than I've ever seen at all-time highs. I've never seen the market so afraid at all-time highs. I mean, I've never seen so many bearish people calling the top on Twitter at all-time highs. I've never seen it. It's probably as bad as it was when we were trading back down here. And I was trading this. I would say the bearish sentiment that I see from so many people out there is as bad as it was here. Now here I could see it, right? You could be in a connector. This, no one knew. This could have been an A, B, C. I mean, but we're like that, guys. We're like at 542 and going. So so this has got more upside. So where's the target, guys, for the grand super cycle? The grand super cycle in this extended 5th should be tagging 751 at the end. But I'll probably start selling before that. But we need to play it by ear. We need to wait and see and play it by ear. But that's probably where this thing tops off at whenever it happens. But that's just the way the chart reads. I mean, it's just the way it goes. We know this isn't a flat. Okay. Now, if you're a bear, you need to pay attention to this divergent peak here, this peak. As we accelerate higher in this blow off top, we need to stay below this peak. If we can't do that, if we take this peak out, then everything changes, because then you have another 1, 2, 1, 2, and then you got to look at much higher targets. Then all of a sudden you're talking this whole thing will impulse. and extend. So you're talking probably 1800, and that would just be wave four, the first wave 4. So you'd probably hit something like SPY 25,000. I know you guys can't believe that, but that's the most bullish case. So the most bullish chart I can come up with is divergence erased on this wave 3 that's happening right before your eyes. Look at the Nasdaq. It's happening. It's going to affect the entire market soon. And when it does, if this peak takes out, it's SPY 25,000. Now, if this isn't taken out, then it's what I show here, and a catastrophe. But if we could take this divergence out, then the entire structure changes, and then we'll have to wait and see what it looks like to predict what the bear market on the back end is. But like all good things, guys, everything will come to an end. This is, even if this gets pushed back another 10 years, there's a horrible moment coming for this stock. I mean, this is not going to be sustainable. This is going to end as bad as it did in 1929 at some point, and more likely in all of our futures, we are all going to live through this. This is coming. I just don't know when. Right now, this is the time, end of the decade. But this can easily melt up and do something different, and it could come later. But it's coming, and when it does, man, it's going to be pretty horrible. But that's just the way market cycles work. But this is the count on the grand super cycle right now on the SPY. And then I just will show the Nasdaq real quick. It is important to show this situation in the Nasdaq here. Let's take a look at what I've got here. So as you can see, we're about to take out this daily divergence here. I think you actually took it out. You took it out here on the daily. I think the 4-hour took it out here. You see here. So the Nasdaq's already negated any kind of bearish count. And in fact, this target is wrong, because this was assuming this was a 4 and a 5, and it isn't anymore. So the Nasdaq's actually showing you a hell of a melt-up's coming in technology, right? I mean, that's what it's showing, right? If we can, let me get this straight here. Yeah, there we go. We need to take this peak out here. My bad. Yeah, the 17 peak. We got to take this. So we're still in wave 5. So take that back. So this is 4. So we are in 5. We're in 3 of 5. Same count. So 3 of 5. And I guess what I was trying to say is some people had this as like a 1, 2. That's not what we're in. We're still in a wave 3 of 5. We're in something like this. Okay, and you could see the 3 of 3 separation. This is classic in a wave 3 wave, right? A break, a gap, and go. See, this is what you want to see in a wave 3 of 3, right there. So that's the 3 of 3. So we know we have the label in probably right. But this is wave 5. But it's got more upside to go. So, where's the target? Nasdaq maybe 570. 600 here, and then let's go down, take a look at this one. Whoops, I'm trying to move quickly here. 550, so 600. We'll just say 600. As triple Q 600, and then that should be it. So we'll have to wait and see, but if it can erase divergence, then it's going to be much more upside in the market. Okay, so I haven't given the grand super cycle update in a while. All right, so I think I got all the super chats. I'll go back to you guys' questions. All right, so I covered this one. So ARM. Yep, ARM is looks like it's about to break out to all-time highs, like that sector. Most of that sector is doing. So ARM to me looks like some kind of 1, 2, and looks like we broke the high. So that's good news. So that opens up ARM for much more upside. Now this looks like it needs to correct, right? It's pretty extended. You have a lot of bearish divergence here. This could be a big extended 5th wave. Let's see here. Now on the shorter time frame, That's not the case. So looking at the shorter time frame, I'd rather go with the shorter time frame here and label it this way, something like this. You know, some people think that this is like the next NVIDIA. I hear all over the internet. And I'm like, you know, I'm not sure, you know, why people would think that. But, you know, if you know a lot about the company, maybe it is. I don't know. So it looks like it's starting to do its fours and fives. So it's gonna probably do some fours and fives and eventually pull back. So that's how I'd look at it right now. But I would buy any pullbacks in three waves. So if you get a three-wave entry, I would be looking to buy this in three waves. So if you can get a pull, you know, another dip down, right? You can buy that. So anyway, that's ARM. Let's see here. Let's go to the next one. ICP and NEAR. Let's go to, where is it here? Sorry. ICP. I believe it's cryptos. All right, yeah, just go to the cryptos. I think I have those. Chart it. Oh, I wonder if we lost. I thought we charted ICP. Do I have it on a different? No, I don't have it. All right, well, I'm just going to chart it from this low. So obviously it's bullish off this low. Looks like you have 5 of some kind of flat correction, right? And the target for the flat may be very close to it. Let's see. It's got more downside actually, 686. So there's the target for the flat. So you need an impulse down. So you need to get 5 waves down. And you can see you don't have it, right? You don't have that separation. You need 5 waves down. So there's more downside coming. Yeah, it looks like it's got more downside. So more downside, but that's how I'd look at it, and then you get wave 3. All right, the other one you had was, what was it? NEAR. Boy, I haven't heard that crypto in a while. Yeah, that is that even still around? Wow. Okay, NEAR. Yeah, wow. Okay. Looks like we impulse down. Let's see. We actually extend it. So it actually is a viable, looks like we had a correction here. Some kind of 3-wave move. Let's take another look. Yeah, we have to, all we have is the weekly chart data. So we don't have a lot of data, but it looks like to me some kind of impulse of some kind. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then it's bouncing in 3. So be careful. This could be ready for its next leg lower. I just don't see bullish structure in this. See, it's corrective. All the moves higher are in 3 swings. See, 3, 5, 3. So it probably is going to take another 5 leg. You know, it's probably going to do, you know, another 5 down. You know, obviously it'll look different. So I would just avoid that. Now, if it could take this high back out at like 881, then the connector will extend and it will chop around. But the direction's lower. I don't think I would like to take the bullish side of this. right now until I could take this high out at $9. Until then, it may be something to short against this high here at 930 here, 9.3. All right. Let's take a look here. Just keep going. Path going to zero. There's a lot of stocks that go into the go to zero chart mode. Now, there's no guarantees anything's going to go to zero, but I think we did path, and the chart looks like it's in a death spiral. Let's see. Not yet. It's got, if it breaks 1040, if it breaks 1044, it's in death spiral mode. Now, you look at it, you see that bullish divergence there? So there's actually hope that it could find a bottom, a double bottom. So just keep that in mind. So there is a possibility. We just don't have enough chart data for proper RSI analysis, so you don't have it. So you're not going to know if this is a good low or not. So it does look like, I mean, yeah, I mean, I would have to label it something like some kind of lead in diagonal out of this thing, and then 3 waves. But it's got to hold this low, so it's tough. You know, the only thing you have going for you is this nice divergence at the peak. So the odds are in your favor slightly for another swing higher. You'll have to do what's best for you. So maybe it's not a death spiral just yet. So maybe not yet. But if we do break this low, I definitely don't like to trade it. But do what's best for you. Alrighty. PSX. Yeah, we did that yesterday, I think, for somebody. I believe I thought we did this one for somebody. I'm not sure if my data. Oh yeah, I'm on the wrong. I need to get to the right chart layout. I'm still in the long term. That's why it didn't come up. All right, let's do that again. So now we should be able to find PSX. So I was like, yeah, I'm pretty sure we did that last night. There it is. Okay, PSX. So we have it in this wave 4. I believe this is an impulse down, so we should get a bounce and a failure. But I think we're in some kind of 4s and 5 scenario. But I would see more upside coming. MSOS. All right, I think we've charted that one before. We got that short right. Man, look at that. We got the short. Look at that. We got it to the penny almost. Damn. Damn, we're good on that. See, this is why sometimes when we get it right, we get it right. Yeah, so this is, if you got the short, if you were lucky enough, I don't know if you're the one. Someone asked me about this. This is why I have the chart. But if somebody's shorted that, you just need to keep that short open. And you probably are going to be very, very happy pretty soon as the 3 of 3 to the downside plays out. I do see it breaking this low. So yeah, just downsheet there, you know, timber, right? A catastrophe is about to happen. Again, I don't know what this is. I don't know why it would do that. I thought cannabis, this is cannabis, right? So I thought it was bullish. So I'm not sure why this one would be more bearish than others. Maybe there's something else going on with the bank behind it. I don't know. But I mean, we obviously got it right. I mean, look, we even caught the long here, right? And then we got the short right. So more than likely, if we've been so successful, more than likely this is going to happen because we seem to be nailing this thing. So we're just going to let this play out. But once this low breaks and divergence is erased, like I said, it may not go all the way. It's not going to go all. It could. Once the divergence is erased and we break this low, then the correction's over. All right. So let's take a look at MJ. Another harvest, some kind of cannabis. It's interesting, but this one's bullish. Look, guys, we hit our accumulation area. Again, we were charting this for people that follow us, and we hit that. Now, I could be off by a swing, right? So this could still be the low, but it also could be a flat. It could be an A, B, and we get C. So I'm not going to worry about it, but I think we could say we're bullish off of this low, 271 to the upside. It looks like you've got 5 off the low. So this looks good for more upside. This looks good for more upside, right? And the alternative, now there is an alternative view that lines up with the stock we just saw, that we did finish 5 here and we did some kind of flat correction. And if that's the case and we come down and we break 263, then this thing is in a lot of trouble, because then you're in a massive connector for this whole thing. I don't even want to guess. So I think given what we just saw in the other one, and it's the same sector and the same chart, I'm going to go with this as the label, and I would try to. I think I would want to stay away from it until the market proved otherwise, until we can take out this high again. But I think this is the chart because of what we just saw in the other. Because this drop and breaking that low negated the bullish setup. Because this happened, so I think it's going to break down. I think it's going to go lower. All right. So let's see. I got hour 12 in. Let's look at the futures real quick, and then I'll just scan comments, and I've got to end it. And like I said, I'll do more live streams. So futures are flat. Bitcoin, looking for that X to extend a little higher. Thought it would, but I'm looking for another drop in Y. I'd like to see it, but there's no, like I said, I can easily be off by a swing. There's no guarantee that this will happen. I would not short this. I would not sell it. I would not leave your positions. I would just keep an open mind that this could drop into this area, and I would want to buy more. That's all this says. Because if this rises, then we could be in a bigger connector wave. We could still be in higher degree X and drop later. So just know that's where that is in Bitcoin. Let's see, how's oil doing? Oil breaking down. So I went to this new count for the oil in the triangle pattern. So we should see a pullback and another swing higher if this is the right pattern. So we'll have to wait and see. If not, we'll go back to what we had earlier. And then gold and silver. Want to see just a little more downside, but we're very close. See all these waves, how they overlap each other? That is clearly the trend is higher. This is counter trend. Overlapping waves signify the trend. This is going against the grain, against the trend. So that tells me the market will break out higher in silver soon. Gold needs some more downside, I think. Dollar index could still hit this area at 105 in this like double correction that you have, like a W, X, Y. So just keep in mind it could chop around a little bit. So still looking for the turn lower. 10-year should continue to be weak. The VIX, though, the VIX was our clue on my last video. We really wanted a breakout in the VIX because we said, hey, we just need it, and we got it, and we got that big sell-off on Friday. So now that may have been enough to reset that cycle, which is good. That could give the market more upside, but it also means it could take another swing higher, so you could still see another dump tomorrow. So we'll have to wait and see if the VIX wants to do one more swing higher. But if it does, then I think that leg is done. So swing to 13.7, 114. If it could do that, take the market down one more time, and then you get a nice bull run through the 4th of July through mid-July. So we'll have to wait and see how that plays out. Still in Celsius. Yes, I am still in Celsius. Am I still in Celsius? I always forget. I'm always moving things around. Let me go to the staples. Let me see if again, sometimes I need I find something better, and I move my money around. That's why you can't just copy my trades blindly. Yeah, I'll just check it real quick while you guys are on the phone. I just see, I don't even remember. I trade so much, I don't even remember if I got rid of it and I got in something different or not. I think I'm still in this position for now. I think I'm still in it. Yeah, I'm still in it. Yep, I'm still in it. I think I had a thought that, like, okay, maybe there's something more a better opportunity, but for right now I'll stay in it. So I'm staying in it for now. All right, and I'm still in it. But that doesn't mean nothing. I can't be wrong. Do what's best for you, and as you know, I could come out of it in a moment's notice at any moment. You know, so you just got to understand that. So the 5 could be here. It could extend. I'll stay in it until something better comes along, right? And that's how I look at it. But I do like it. I do, you know, I do like the setup. I just, you know, I do like it. I don't know what kind of news is going on with it. Yeah, biggest losers. And that's great. I love to buy the biggest losers. I want the biggest losers. Okay. See, last time we were down in that area, we were down in this area. You see, we were at 15, and look what it did. So there's a huge opportunity, right? It reset the stochastics on the daily cycle. It's corrected a massive move. So yeah, I mean, the risk reward's good for me, even if we drop more. So, and maybe, you know, you see this wave 4 cluster. Maybe we need to drop a little more into that. We'll have to wait and see. But it's interesting. It did find a nice bounce right where I wanted it, but I wanted to get a little more follow through. We didn't get it, so we could still be extended in 5. But I'm still in the trade. All right. I'm just gonna scan comments. Snowflakes, like software. Some of the software stocks haven't bottomed yet. Some of them have, like ServiceNow bottomed. Like on the day of the correction, it bottomed. Like you had to be like a robot and buy it. It's already bottomed and come out. But others haven't. Like Workday. Workday needs another low. So I think Snowflake needs more downside, but then that whole sector will finally stabilize. Like I think even CRM could find another low potentially. Zoom video. Yeah, Zoom video's been in the shitter, hasn't it? I'm only clicking on it because I'm curious about it. We've given updates on Zoom video every now and then. But did it finally break? Yeah, it broke its pivot. Guys, this is not a good. This negated the bullish count. So in my system, you would have stopped out. I would have bought it somewhere around 64, 62, and I would have stopped out with a small loss at 57. Because why do you want to do that? Because the loss can be catastrophic now. Because now you're under the IPO hot low, you're under this massive whatever this is, and you know, it's just this chart sucks. Look this whatever this is corrected the entire downtrend. So your only correction you got was this little bounce, and you so this is really bearish. This is like, is this company going to go bankrupt or something? Is it like, what is wrong with this place? Is like the founders, are they like doing anything to like grow this company anymore, or did they just take the money and run? Like, I don't follow the fundamentals of this company, but man, if I was a shareholder, I'd be really pissed at them because they obviously lost their opportunity. They had some kind of massive opportunity here, and then they just sat on their idea or whatever, and it now the opportunity's passed them, and now it may be too late. So I don't know. I don't know what's going on with these guys, but this chart is actually a short. Now you could just short that against 74 and see how low it goes. I don't know, or maybe even short it against 65. But that chart is ugly. That chart is ugly, man. Last minute super chat. I was just about to go off, but that's okay. $2 for yield curve uninversion. I don't do the inversion, uninversion stuff. I don't really even follow that. So I can't really comment on that. But the PLL, I can do that for you. Lithium. Oh yeah, we've given this update earlier on our channel. It's in a buy area. So we have it in this buy area, and I believe we have, if you want to try to pinpoint your entry, $9.11 is where I would pinpoint it, right around there. But honestly, anywhere in this area should be accumulation, dollar cost average, ladder in, whatever you want to call it, for, we filled this gap, right, for a massive pump in the future. All right. Founders sitting on Zoom all day. Yeah, the founders fucked up the company, huh? But hey, they got rich. They're probably billionaires. I mean, shit. Would I be motivated if I had all those billions in the bank? Probably not either. So that was a take the money and run type company, it seems like. But I mean, people still use Zoom. I mean, everyone's using it. It's just, I guess they're not making a lot of money on it. I don't know if they're giving it away for free or what the hell they're doing with it, but or losing market share to Microsoft Teams. But yeah, that would be a business MBA case for business schools on how to fuck up a company. I mean, Peloton I get, right? Peloton was a unique product. The stars aligns, and what could the guy do? He just sells bikes. I mean, you sell subscriptions with the bike. You're not going to be able to do much with that. But a technology company like Zoom that had all those subscribers, all those users, and you couldn't monetize that, you couldn't find a way to make that work and get out of, diversify your product or even use your stock to acquire other businesses. I mean, man, you guys fucked up, man. You guys need to hire some MBAs or something, because we could have. I don't know. They screwed up. Now Peloton, that's all their product was, and their cycle came and went. So you can't blame the CEO for that. He actually did probably as good a job you could do milking that product for what it was worth. You could argue that maybe he should have done more to diversify too, and monetize his users. I think he did to the best they could, but Zoom, man, I think Zoom had a massive opportunity they blew. All right, so that is it. I'm just looking at other comments to see if there's anything else I can tell you guys. So yeah, so I'll end up, they have billions in cash. Okay, so they do need to buy something. So maybe they'll acquire something and then the symbol goes away or something, or they merge into something else. Okay, so let's see. The next thing is the market forecast for next week. For me, what I'm looking at, the Dow here is telling me a little more downside, but not much more. The Russell's telling me more downside, but not much more. And a lot of stocks we looked at needed a little more downside, but not much more. I think that's the idea. So I think a lot of stocks are showing like, hey, we need more downside, but not a lot more. And then there's some stocks that are clearly in breakout wave 3 and 3 mode that have already turned, that have already entered this 3 of 3. And they're leaders, right? But these will all catch up eventually. But I think the big trade for Monday is GME, right? They got that big event. This is going to be really interesting. Are we going to get this on Monday, or are we going to get the bullish, like 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2, which is like super bullish, which will be, crazy, right? That's how that plays out. So I don't know. I lean this way because of just the sentiment seems too excited, too many eyeballs watching it, which usually means they'll want to rug pull before they rip higher. So I'll just be careful you don't get trapped in this because when we only had the 1-1-2 and we were coming up here, that was different. But now that you have this kind of structure, it's very hard to break. Typically, when I see so many 1-2s, it usually unravels to the downside, usually, but not always. Once in a while, you hit the home run on a call or buy the stock. So it's not a guarantee, but I think tomorrow's is all about GameStop. I think tomorrow's all about GameStop, guys. That's what the market's going to be fixated on, is that in the shareholder event. Okay, guys.